What's up, everybody? This is Antoine Criminal Mosley, and welcome to another episode of Ask Criminal 2K15. This is the final season, and this is the second episode of 10. And we're going to take things a little bit to the extreme this time because on this episode, it is uncut, uncensored, unedited. Everything that is going to happen on this show is going to happen. I'm not touching anything. We're just going to get through it as well, maybe not as quickly as possible, but we're going to get these questions answered. I guarantee you that. I have 10 questions right here, including the bonus question, which is going to be an interesting one. So, which ones made this episode today? We're going to find out right here, right now. So, the first question comes to me from James in Orlando, and James asked me, when will your next game night episode air? James, that's a good question. The answer that I'm going to give you right now is I don't know yet. I've been working with so many other projects going on right now, and with everything that's falling into place around me lately, the game night videos are going to probably be a little bit less and less likely to appear like right away. But I know the guys over at Gamers Inc. and I know the guys at Cybertron Video Games. Shout out to both of y'all. I know those guys have been waiting for some game night videos, and I would love to work with them soon. So hopefully down the line, I'll definitely have them. But for right now, I am sticking to the main projects that are being worked on, and we're going to go from there. So thanks a lot, James. All right. The next question comes to me from Stephanie in Phoenix, Arizona. And Stephanie asks, are you regretting your decision not going to Wrestlemania this year? No. I'm not regretting it one bit. Let's be real. Everybody knows that my main focus around this time of year is getting prepared for a road trip, getting prepared to go to WrestleMania, to see places I've never seen before, to do things I've never done before. You know, positive things, not negative things, okay? So get that out of your head right now. But not going this year is actually beneficial for me because it opens the doors for other things that I've been wanting to do, years ago. So maybe Dallas next year, hopefully Orlando in 2017. If it does come to Orlando, which is a front runner, then I'm definitely going. But right now, San Francisco is kind of a little too far. And that's I've been to Phoenix for WrestleMania 26, and I think that's probably the longest drive I've ever had in my life. But I really, like I said, I don't regret not going this year. Granted, the card's going to be great, but, choices had to be made, and I made the right choice. So thanks for that. All right, Eric from New York. How do you feel now that your podcast has hit places such as YouTube and SoundCloud? YouTube, I'm not surprised. SoundCloud, however, I am surprised. YouTube, they have their thing where everybody has their podcasts, and I've been on podcasts before where I've actually brought my video camera to the studio and, had it set up in a corner to where you could see everything that goes on, in the studio during a podcast. And for my actual podcast, the audio to actually be making it to YouTube is not a big surprise. But SoundCloud, on the other hand, is a program where you can have, music, you can have your podcast, you can have your own creation. And, people go in there, they check it out and see if they like it or not. You get some followers. And me, I'm definitely starting to get some followers on SoundCloud, so it works. So I stick to something. If I see it and I like it, and I like where it's at as far as being on a website, if I see a lot of, positive feedback and I see a lot of positive results, then I'll keep it there. But if I don't, then I'll just take it off the site. It's all about progressing and moving forward. That's all it is. So yeah, I'm not surprised at YouTube, but I am surprised at SoundCloud. Have you ever thought about writing a memoir of your life? This was from Jessica in Tampa, and this is a very good question. Never thought about this, but that's a very good question. I'm guessing you've probably done this yourself, and I've seen people always talking about writing their memoirs and writing their, dishing their dirt on pieces of paper and things that people would never know about, but only you would know. Now that I think about it, maybe I should. I mean, I'm 31 years old. I'm going to be 32 in May. I think it's time for me to start writing my memoirs and start writing things down that, people probably either wouldn't understand, they wouldn't know about, or things that I already know, but I want to make sure I keep a record of it just in case, something were to happen to me down the line, God forbid. But, at least people will be able to read my memoirs and see exactly, how I grew up and what I've done in my life and, things of that nature. And people just want to know a lot about me, which is what made me start the Ask Criminal episodes to begin with. But actually writing them down, I think that's probably going to be a good idea. So maybe I'll start one. We'll see. If they have like do-it-yourself memoirs, if they have something like that, then I'll definitely consider it. That's a good question. That was a great one. Thank you. Oh man. Fred in Orlando. Is it really frustrating to hit bumps along the way towards your goals? Let's get one thing straight right now. No matter what goals you want to pursue in life, you're gonna have bumps. You're gonna have bumps. That's point blank period, and you cannot go through life without hitting a few of them. Trust me, I've hit tons of them in the course of 31 years. I've hit them all. But what keeps me going is a positive attitude and a positive outlook on life that transcends anything that gets thrown in front of me, because no matter what happens, yes, I may get frustrated, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get over it and keep moving, keep going. I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to get better, and as long as my goal is within reach, there is nothing that's going to stop me from reaching it. Plain and simple. So yeah, you're always going to have bumps in the road. It's how you handle it that defines you and your life. Ashley in Cincinnati asked, who would you like to work with more, Game Grumps or Team 4-Star? Damn. Oh, that's a tough one. Wow. I love them both. I mean, Game Grumps is self-explanatory. Those guys are hilarious. They'll make me laugh no matter what's going on. They can make me laugh at the dumbest games. And it's like they do it with ease. Team 4-Star, on the other hand, is all about abridged, anime, abridged shows that they do. They put their own style to it. Dragon Ball Z abridged. I will never watch Dragon Ball Z again the same way because of Team 4-Star, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually a great thing, because I can watch a regular show and laugh about it, but just seeing these guys do the voices, which they do it to almost perfection. It's a kind of environment, it's a kind of like the kind of atmosphere you want to be surrounded by. Something that you're good with, you can throw your voices and people wouldn't even recognize you on the street without saying, hey, do the voice of, Piccolo, do the voice of Vegeta, do Goku, things of that nature. You want to have people do that because they want to know, like, wow, this guy's famous just for throwing his voice around. So, either way, but oh man, I have to pick one? I really have to pick one here? Oh God. And probably there's a representative from both of them watching right now too, so they're like, yeah, pick me, pick me, pick me. Oh my God. If I had to choose one, I'm sorry, I gotta go with Team 4-Star. Hands down. Reggie from Jacksonville. Do you believe that you might have some competition with all your projects? Good question. I like where your head is at, but the answer to that is no. I'm not looking for competition. There's a lot of guys out there that do the same things that I do, but they just do it better. And I get that. I can understand that. I give credit to where credit is due. I respect everybody that has, paved the way for shows like this one to actually go out and say, hey, we can do this. It's no big deal. We can sit behind a camera. We can talk all day. We can play video games till the cows come home. We can laugh about it. And it's just, the way it is. So I'm not looking for competition. I'm just doing what I love to do, and sharing my talents with the world. That's all I'm doing. If people see that as a threat, then that sounds like a problem on their end. Doesn't sound like a problem to me. So yeah. Oh, let's see, who's this? What was his name? Oh, Justin. Which WWE Championship would you have the best chance of winning? Knowing my physique right now, I would probably have to say, uh, probably a tag team title. Probably a tag team title. Ooh, this is a good one. Marcus from Atlanta. Marcus from Atlanta, my hometown. Which game are you more excited for? Kingdom Hearts 3 or Mortal Kombat 10? Oh God, I hate these multiple questions because it's like you really have to think. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3. Obviously, I'm not the only one that's excited about this. Anybody who has played Kingdom Hearts, for one. Two, anybody who's a huge Disney fan that loves games like this. Three, anybody that loves the interactive gameplay for Kingdom Hearts to begin with. Of course, you're going to enjoy this game and you're going to be excited about it. So yes, on that aspect, I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. However, Mortal Kombat has been around for years. Years. Okay, since the first Mortal Kombat was on what? Like Sega, Super Nintendo, um, N64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox, the Wii. Every system has had at least one Mortal Kombat game. Of course, there was the bad one that came out, which, I really don't want to say that much. Well, fine. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. That was horrible. I don't know why they did that, but I digress from that. Mortal Kombat 10 this year, they're getting rid of some characters, but they're adding a couple of them. Rumored right now they're going to have Spawn, the Predator, and Jason Voorhees to counteract from Freddy Krueger last time. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like a good plan. Sounds like a good idea. We might mix things up. So, in all fairness, if I had to pick one of these two that I'm more excited for, I would say Kingdom Hearts 3. My personal opinion would definitely have to be Kingdom Hearts 3. Good question, though. I love where that one went. Oh, God. All right. This one came from a good friend of mine that actually lives here in Orlando who goes by the name of Janice. Janice asked me, she says, I need to know this. And when you hear something like that, it sounds serious. She says, I need to know this. What is it with you and iPhones? All right. Let's get down to the nitty gritty on this, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with all of you. I have nothing against the Apple company. I mean, let's face it, I own two iPods. My brother has an iPad. Both my brothers have iPads, and I have no problem with those. But the iPhones, the reason why I have such a big problem with iPhones is the simple fact that no matter what you do with an iPhone, they're all built the same exact way. There's nothing that's different. There's nothing that's really remotely different with iPhones. There really isn't. Okay, maybe you can make the battery a little longer. Maybe you can make the screen a little bigger. Maybe you could make the technology much more advanced. But at the end of the day, the iPhone is still going to be an iPhone. And if you drop the iPhone, mainly I don't know, you just take it as far as say you have this pen right here in my hand, and the pen is my iPhone. The pen is the iPhone. Here's the floor. You do this, and the phone cracks. And the people that don't understand that, they're saying, well, I can take good care of my phone, and I don't have to worry about getting a case. 2 days later, you break it, then you start to whine, bitch, moan, and complain about it, where you should have went and spent the extra money to go ahead and get that case for your iPhone. So everybody wants to be like, oh, iPhone's this, iPhone's that. Well, the reason why I don't like iPhones too much, the main reason I do not like iPhones, not because they're expensive, it's just because that I can't deal with people saying that the iPhones are like the best phones in the world, and they want to put themselves ahead of everybody else in the game. But I'm like, you know what? I've been an Android member for long as I can remember. And I have never had a problem with my Androids. And a lot of people out there, they want to make it so like there's like a civil war going on between Androids and iPhones, which is really stupid if you think about it in the long run. I mean, granted, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what phone you can or can't have. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, if you want to debate about that, we could do that on a whole nother show. Hell, we can do it on my podcast if you want. But at the end of the day, I'm just not a big fan of iPhones. I'm really not a big fan. Now everybody's like, "Oh, I got the iPhone." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this, but when people come up to me and say, "Oh, I have an iPhone. I got an iPhone 5. I got an iPhone 6. I got an iPhone Plus," 90% of the time that people tell me that they have an iPhone, my instant reaction to them will say, I'll literally look right at them and say this. 90% of the time, it's, "Oh, you got an iPhone, man. iPhone sucks. Team Android all day." 90% of the time, I will say that without even thinking of it. And it's kind of bad. But at the same time, I kind of, you know, have some truth behind what I'm saying. So, people get upset, they get mad, and it makes sense. But at the end of the day, again, Team Android for life. Where is it? Team Android all day. All day. Get iPhones. But if you're a good friend of mine, you have an iPhone, then hey, more power to you. All right, finally, we have our bonus question. The bonus question comes to me from Mark, all the way up north in Tallahassee, Florida. And Mark asked me, "Will you finally attend MegaCon this year?" I am going to do whatever it takes to make an appearance at MegaCon this year. I have had all of my friends go each and every year, and for some apparent reason, I always have to work that day or the weekend that it happens, and I always miss out. It's a big deal for me because I want to go to at least one MegaCon convention in my lifetime. That would be, it's kind of like nostalgic for me. Plus, it gives me a chance to dress up in like a comic book character or a video game character that I like, and it gives me that right to do so, and I really want to do it. I've missed it so many years. I think this time I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it to at least one day. If I can't do all three, which I know it's like $70, but if I can't do all three, I'll definitely do at least one. And me and my boys, we can all get together, we can all go together and have a great time, take a ton of pictures, and just enjoy it. And I think that's what I want. I definitely want to do that this year. I know it's coming up in April, so I have some time. So hopefully, I'll be able to go. Hopefully. I can't miss another one, man. I got to bite that off the bucket list. Attend MegaCon convention. Check. All right. So, yeah. I'm not missing it. Alright guys, that's just going to do it for another episode of Ask Criminal 2K15. That's the way it goes down. You guys give me the questions, I give you the answers, guaranteed. If you'd like to see your question answered on the next episode, hit me up on the link below and I'll take a look. And if I like what I see, your question just might make the air. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for tuning in to an uncut, unedited, uncensored episode. This is your humble host, Antoine Criminal Mosley, naturally. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, the champ is gone. Holla at your boy. I'm out. Peace.